மாநில தலைவர் முருகன் அவர்கள் உரையாற்றுவார்.
भारतीय जनता के मोदी सरकार ஆண்டு காஷ்மீரிலே பாதுகாப்பு படையில் ஈடுபட்டிருந்த ராணுவ வீரர்கள் மறைவிற்கு இரங்கல் செலுத்தும் விதமாக 2 நிமிடம் மௌன அஞ்சலி செலுத்த அனைவரும் எழுந்து நிற்குமாறு கேட்டுக்கொள்கிறேன். ஓம் சாந்தி சாந்தி சாந்தி. மோடி சர்க்கார் 2 முதலாம் ஆண்டு சாதனை கூட்டத்திற்கு வருகை புரிந்திருக்கும் நம்முடைய மதிப்பிற்கும் மரியாதைக்குரிய மத்திய ரயில்வே மற்றும் தொழில்துறையினுடைய அமைச்சர் சகோதரர் பியூஷ் கோயல்ஜி அவர்களே, மற்றும் இந்த நிகழ்ச்சியில பங்கு பெற்றிருக்கும் பாரதிய ஜனதா கட்சியினுடைய மூத்த தலைவர் திரு இல கணேசன்ஜி அவர்களே, முன்னாள் மத்திய அமைச்சர் சகோதரர் அண்ணன் பொன் ராதாகிருஷ்ணன் அவர்களே, முன்னாள் மாநில தலைவரும் பாராளுமன்ற உறுப்பினருமான சகோதரர் சிபி ராதாகிருஷ்ணன் அவர்களுக்கும், நம்மளுடைய பாரதிய ஜனதா கட்சியினுடைய தேசிய செயலாளர் மதிப்புக்குரிய அண்ணன் ஹெச் ராஜா அண்ணன் அவர்களுக்கும், மற்றும் பாரதிய ஜனதா கட்சியினுடைய அனைத்து நிர்வாகிகள், மாநில மாவட்ட நிர்வாகிகள், பொதுமக்கள், சகோதரர் சகோதரிகள், உங்கள் அனைவருக்கும் என்னுடைய இனிய மாலை வணக்கத்தை தெரிவித்துக் கொண்டு, நம்மளுடைய இந்த விர்ச்சுவல் ரேலியானது சற்று காலதாமதத்திற்கு டெக்னிக்கல் ரீசன்னால சற்று காலதாமதத்திற்கு உங்களிடத்தில் மன்னிப்பு கோருகிறேன். இந்த ஓராண்டு சாதனைக்காக விளக்குவதற்கு நம்மளுடைய மத்திய அமைச்சர் நம்மளிடத்தில் வருகை புரிந்தார்கள். அவர் நமக்கு பல்வேறு விஷயங்களை எடுத்து சொல்ல இருக்கிறார்கள். அதற்கு முன்னால் தமிழகத்தில் பாரதிய ஜனதா கட்சியின் சார்பில் பாரதிய ஜனதா கட்சியானது இந்த கோவிட் டைம்ல நம்ம என்னென்ன செஞ்சிருக்கிறோம் அப்படின்றத நான் சொல்ல கடமைப்பட்டிருக்கிறேன். இந்த ஓராண்டு காலத்துல வரலாற்று சிறப்புமிக்க பணிகளை நம்ம செஞ்சிருக்கிறோம். நமக்கு எல்லாருக்குமே தெரியும், அயோத்தியில ராமர் கோயில் விஷயம், அதே மாதிரி காஷ்மீர்ல ஆர்டிகிள் 370 விஷயம், அதே மாதிரி சிஏஏ விஷயம், இந்த மாதிரி முத்தலாக் விஷயம், பல்வேறு விஷயங்களை நம்மளுடைய சிறப்பு விருந்தினர் நம்மகிட்ட விளக்க இருக்கிறாங்க. நம்மளுடைய கெஸ்ட் உங்களுக்கு கடந்த 5 வருஷம் நம்மளுடைய மத்திய அரசாங்கம் சமூகம் சார்ந்த திட்டங்களை நம்ம நடைமுறைப்படுத்தி இருக்கிறோம். அதுல குறிப்பா சொல்லணும்னா ஜன்தன் அக்கவுண்ட், அனைவருக்கும் வீடு, உஜ்வாலா கேஸ், ஸ்டாண்ட் அப் இந்தியா, ஸ்டார்ட் அப் இந்தியா, டிஜிட்டல் இந்தியா, மேக் இன் இந்தியா, அப்படி பல்வேறு ப்ரோக்ராமை கடந்த 5 வருஷத்துல நம்ம நடத்தி இருந்திருக்கிறோம். இப்போ இந்த கோவிட் பீரியட்ல நம்மளுடைய அகில பாரத தலைவர் திரு நட்டாஜி அவங்க நம்ம கிட்டத்தில் ஒரு பாரதிய ஜனதா கட்சியினுடைய சகோதரர்கள வேண்டுகோள் விடுத்திருந்தாங்க. ஒவ்வொரு பாரதிய ஜனதா கட்சியினுடைய தொண்டர்களும் குறைந்தது 5 பேருக்காவது உணவு கொடுக்கணும் அப்படின்ட்டு. அதாவது நம்மளுடைய பிரைம் மினிஸ்டர் திரு நரேந்திர மோடிஜி அவங்க ஊரடங்கு பிறப்பிச்சாங்க. மார்ச் 24 ஊரடங்கு பிறப்பிச்சதுனால தனி ஒருவரும் யாரொரு கூட உணவில்லாம இருக்கக்கூடாது, அனைவருக்கும் உணவு கொடுக்கணும், ஃபீடு த நீடி. நம்மளுடைய நட்டாஜியினுடைய வார்த்தைகளுக்கு ஏற்ப கிட்டத்தட்ட தமிழ்நாடு முழுவதும் நம்மளுடைய பாரதிய ஜனதா கட்சியினுடைய அனைத்து நிர்வாகிகளும் அவர்களால் முடிந்த அளவுக்கு நம்மளால பல்வேறு பணிகளை நம்ம செஞ்சிருந்தோம். சுமார் 1 கோடி உணவு பாக்கெட்ஸ் கொடுத்துருக்கிறோம். அதுக்கு நம்மளுடைய பாரதிய ஜனதா கட்சியினுடைய அத்தனை நிர்வாகிகளும் நம்ம களத்துல இருந்து நம்ம பணி செஞ்சிருக்கிறோம். மத்திய அரசாங்கத்தின் சார்பில் சுமார் 1.75 லட்சம் கோடி ரூபாய் கொரோனா நிவாரணத்திற்காக ஒதுக்கப்பட்டது. தமிழ்நாட்டில் கிட்டத்தட்ட 35 லட்சம் விவசாயிகளுக்கு பிரைம் மினிஸ்டருடைய 2000 ரூபாய் சன்மானம் நம்ம தமிழ்நாட்டில் மட்டுமே கிடைச்சிருக்கு. அதே மாதிரி மகளிர் ஜன்தன் அக்கௌண்ட் வச்சிருக்கிறவங்களுக்கு கிட்டத்தட்ட 70 லட்சத்துக்கும் மேற்பட்ட ஜன்தன் அக்கௌண்ட் மகளிருக்கு 3 மாசத்துக்கு 500 ரூபா நம்ம அவங்க அக்கௌண்ட்ல கொடுத்துருக்கிறோம். அதே மாதிரி இலவச கேஸ் உஜ்வாலால தமிழ்நாட்டில் அத்தனை பேருக்குமே பதிவு செஞ்சிருக்கிறவங்களுக்கு 3 மாசத்துக்கு கேஸ் கனெக்ஷன், ஒவ்வொரு மாசத்துக்கு ஒரு சிலிண்டர் வீதம் சிலிண்டர் கொடுத்துருக்கோம். இதே போல மோடி கிட் அரிசி, பருப்பு, எண்ணெய், மளிகை சாமான்கள் அடங்கிய மோடி கிட் கிட்டத்தட்ட 27 லட்சத்திலிருந்து 30 லட்சத்துக்குள்ள மோடி கிட் தமிழ்நாடு முழுவதுக்குமே நம்மளுடைய நிர்வாகிகள் கொடுத்துருக்காங்க. இப்போ நம்ம முகக்கவசங்கள் கொடுத்துருக்கோம். ஏற்கனவே கிட்டத்தட்ட 40 லட்சம் முகக்கவசங்கள் கொடுத்துருக்கோம். இன்னும் 1 கோடி முகக்கவசங்கள் கொடுக்கறதுக்கான பணிகளை நம்ம செஞ்சுட்டு இருக்கிறோம். தொடர்ந்து பாரதிய ஜனதா கட்சியினுடைய நிர்வாகிகள் நம்ம பல்வேறு பணிகளையும் செஞ்சிட்டு இருக்கிறோம். இந்த ஓராண்டுல கோவிட் இந்த பீரியட்ல கூட நம்மளுடைய களப்பணியை தொடர்ந்து ஆட்டிக்கிட்டு இருக்கிறோம். இப்ப கூட நம்மளுடைய பாரதிய ஜனதா கட்சியினுடைய சகோதரர்கள் இன்னும் நம்ம களத்துல இருக்கிறோம். சென்னை மாதிரி நகரங்கள்ல இன்னைக்கு இன்னும் அதிகமா கேசஸ் அதிகமாகிட்டு இருக்கு. இப்போ கடுமையான ஊரடங்கு பிறப்பிக்கப்பட்டிருக்குது. நம்மளுடைய வாலண்டியர்ஸ் அங்க களத்துல இறங்கி நம்ம அரசாங்கத்துடைய உதவியோட அங்க பல்வேறு பணிகளை நம்ம செஞ்சிட்டு இருக்கிறோம். இன்னும் சொல்லிக்கிட்டே போலாம். நம்மளுடைய பாரதிய ஜனதா கட்சி சார்ந்த சகோதரர்கள், நம்மளுடைய நிர்வாகிகள், நம்ம அனைவருமே நம்மளுடைய பணியை இடைவிடாம செஞ்சுட்டு இருக்கிறோம். நம்மளுடைய மூத்த தலைவர்கள், நம்மளுடைய பாரதிய ஜனதா கட்சியினுடைய நிர்வாகிகள் அனைவரும் ஒத்துழைப்புல நாம் இந்த பணிகள்லாம் செஞ்சுட்டு இருக்கிறோம். எனக்கு இந்த கூட்டத்தில் பேசுறதுக்கு வாய்ப்பளித்த அனைத்து நல்ல உள்ளங்களுக்கும் நன்றி தெரிவித்து, நம்மளுடைய சிறப்பு அழைப்பாளர் மாண்புமிகு மத்திய அமைச்சர் சகோதரர் பியூஷ் கோயல்ஜி அவர்களை சிறப்புரையாற்ற வருமாறு அன்புடன் அழைக்கின்றேன். நன்றி, வணக்கம்.
Vanakkam. President Bharatiya Janata Party Tamil Nadu, Muruganji, all my dear friends whom I am seeing on the screen after a long time, Pon Radhakrishnan ji, CPR, Mr. Raja, NR, all the other good friends with whom I had the opportunity to work in the last election quite closely. All the respected leaders of Bharatiya Janata Party in Tamil Nadu, President of our various morchas, Mahila Morcha, Yuva Morcha, SC/ST Morcha, all the Karyakartas of Bharatiya Janata Party in Tamil Nadu, and dear friends, I would like to bow down to the land of great sages like Thiruvallavur, Sundarar, Appar, the land of Lord Murugan, which tells the story of the bravery of the people of Tamil Nadu. We have just paid our respect to the martyrs who laid down their life, the supreme sacrifice in the service of the nation, so that you and I can be safe in our homes, in our towns, in our cities. The nation today remembers with great pride the sacrifice, the supreme sacrifice of 40-year-old son of a farmer, Havildar K. Palani, from the village of Kadukalur in Ramanathapuram, who joined the armed forces at the young age of 18, served the people of India, served the nation for 22 years in the army. And when the nation's need was there, the call of duty, he laid down his life so that you and I can live in peace. The nation is indebted to each one of the soldiers, to Colonel Babu, to all his men, and their supreme sacrifice will neither be forgiven nor be forgotten. India is a peace-loving country. We always strive for peace. We always work for peace. But when it comes to protecting its sovereignty and integrity, that is paramount. That is of the highest significance. And as the Honorable Prime Minister rightly said, and I quote, while the armed forces have been given the freedom to take necessary steps on the ground, India has also conveyed its position in no uncertain terms to China through diplomatic means. We will protect our nation, our land, with every possible tool at our command. And no stone will be left unturned to protect the sovereignty and integrity of India, to keep our borders safe, and to ensure peace and tranquility in the region. In fact, if I may quote from the great Tamil poet and saint Thiruvallavur, the king who administers justice and protects his people will be considered of divine quality. We have demonstrated to the world the strong and decisive leadership of Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi, who has led from the front, who has been a source of inspiration for all the Karyakartas of the Bharatiya Janata Party to serve the people of India, to serve the people of Tamil Nadu relentlessly in different ways. And I was hearing my good friend speaking about the good work that all of you have done in Tamil Nadu while facing this very, very difficult challenge of COVID pandemic. by giving Modi kits to the poor families, by feeding our poor brothers and sisters, by ensuring distribution of masks to all the people. And I'm sure we will continue to serve the people of Tamil Nadu in every which way that we can. As we prepare ourselves to not only overcome the problem of COVID, but prepare the nation for a better tomorrow, for a glorious future for the people of our country, our state, for a safe tomorrow for all Indians, for a prosperous tomorrow for the young boys and girls of India. In fact, if you look back, Prime Minister Narendra Modi in the last 6 years has, through various programs, taken development to the nook and corner, to every remote part of India, and taken good initiatives to improve the lives of the people of India, more particularly the poor, the marginalized sections of society, the middle class sections of society. If you look back and remember the situation 6 years ago, we did not have toilets for our sisters, for our mothers in 2 out of 3 homes in the country. Imagine the loss of dignity of our sisters, of our mothers, because we didn't have toilets in our homes. In the last 4.5 years, 5 years, the country has constructed 11 crore toilets through Swachh Bharat Abhiyan. 11 crore toilets. Today, the country is open defecation free. Now, when we want to fight against COVID, can you imagine how difficult it would be if we did not have toilets in our homes? How would we fight the problem of COVID? How could we do lockdown? How could we contain ourselves in our homes if we did not have toilets? Imagine if 8 crore poor families had not been given free cooking gas connection under Prime Minister's Ujjwala Yojana. And in fact, the cooking gas connections in the last 6 years have almost doubled from 13 crore connections in 2014 to nearly 25-26 crore connections now. Almost every home today has a cooking gas connection. Can you imagine if we still had to cook in the chulas with smoke of 400 cigarettes coming into the body of our mothers and our sisters? Think how much of an impact it could have on COVID. After all, what is COVID? Coronavirus is a problem of the respiratory system. Breathing becomes difficult. Our lungs get affected. Already our mothers and sisters were suffering because they had to take 400 cigarettes every day into their body. Now these cooking gas connections, imagine how many people's lives it has saved. They don't have to go searching for chula, fuel, stakes, wood, coal, and they cook in clean environment, protecting their health, protecting their respiratory system. The poor who could not afford cooking gas connections have been given nearly 8 crore connections free of charge. If Swachh Bharat Abhiyan was not taken up, if we had India like it was before with garbage all over the place, if people were still spitting on the roads, can you imagine how quickly coronavirus could have spread in the country? Nearly 38 crore bank accounts have been opened in the last 5.5 years. 38 crore bank accounts. Jan Dhan bank account. Nearly every house today has their own account. In fact, almost all adult people have their own account. Because of that, we could quickly give crores of farmers 2,000 rupees into their bank account in April. Crores of our sisters have been sent 500 rupees every month for 3 months. Free ration has been distributed so that 80 crore people, apart from the ration being already given to them at very subsidized price, can get additional free food grains during the COVID period so that nobody has to sleep on an empty stomach. All of this was possible to distribute large amounts of money under the Pradhan Mantri Garib Kalyan Yojana because of these bank accounts which were linked to Aadhaar and to the mobile phone. This Jan Dhan Aadhaar mobile trinity helped to reach very quickly the benefits of the Pradhan Mantri Garib Kalyan Yojana to crores of families all over the country without a single middleman, without having to pay any bribe, without any leakage of your money. Today, every home in the country has electricity. Imagine if we did not have electricity, and crores of our children did not have electricity until 2014. How could they pass the time during the lockdown? How would water go to every home? How would digital connectivity be ensured, due to which television is working, internet is working, due to which today we are doing this virtual rally with all of you? All of this has been possible because of the rapid rollout of broadband connectivity under Digital Bharat, Digital India, led by Prime Minister Narendra Modi. We have been working relentlessly to double the farmer's income. Today, minimum support price for farm produce has been expanded to cover many more items. And in all of them, we are ensuring that the price is the cost of production plus 50% on top of that. And you have seen continuously the minimum support price increasing, and the public procurement of food grains has gone up significantly in the last few years. In some cases by as much as 5 or 7 times more than it was done 6 years ago. You are all aware of the Ayushman Bharat program. 50 crore brothers and sisters of India are today benefiting from free healthcare under Ayushman Bharat. Just imagine what was happening before Ayushman Bharat was introduced. Lakhs and lakhs of families, if they had any patient at home, somebody suffered some illness or disease, they had to borrow money to get treatment. And for years, all their income would go to pay the interest and the borrowed money. Prime Minister Modi's heart beats for the people of India, to serve the people of India. And he has devoted his entire life for the service of society, for the service of the people of India. And all the effort of the last 6 years, which prepared the foundation for prosperity for the people of India, has helped us in this fight against COVID, so that today, despite having 17% of the world's population, the number of deaths in India are less than 3% of the deaths all over the world. 17% population, but deaths are less than 3%. In fact, our recovery rate at 55% is amongst the best anywhere else. Even if you see the total number of COVID patients, they are under 5% of the total cases all over the world. This is because at the right time, Prime Minister Narendra Modi showed decisive leadership. He decided to go in for the lockdown in 4 phases so that we could contain the problem of coronavirus, so that people would stay where they are and not allow it to spread very fast. And during the last 3 months, we have used that time to develop the infrastructure to fight against COVID. I am sure you are aware that when the lockdown started, we only had a few laboratories for testing coronavirus. And in one day, we were barely doing 1,000 tests. 1,000 tests. We have prepared India in the last 3 months so that today we can do 1,25,000 tests in hundreds of laboratories all over the country. When the lockdown was started, we barely had a stock of a few thousand personal protective equipment, PPEs, few thousand. They were mostly imported, not made in India. We had very little capacity and it was not available anywhere in the world because everybody was manufacturing and keeping it for themselves. At that point of time, even masks for the doctors were not available. Surgical gloves were in short supply. We did not have enough ventilators. There could have been a potential shortage of oxygen. Some of you may have seen the photographs, what was happening in Europe. Because India took the strong step of a lockdown, we not only contained the illness, people stayed at home, took precaution of personal hygiene, washing hands with soap or sanitizer, wearing mask all the time. I have also just taken it off so that my voice goes clearly, but we are always with a mask. Ensuring social distance of 4 to 6 feet when you are in public. With all these precautions, nobody spits in the public, nobody throws garbage anywhere. These precautions have helped India reduce the potential damage coronavirus could have done, given the large population and the huge density of population that we have in India. In fact, cities like Chennai, Mumbai, Delhi, situation is still quite serious. We have to all work collectively. We have to all work hard to ensure discipline is maintained, early treatment of patients who are found symptomatic or whose health is deteriorating, and careful cure of those who can be kept at home and can be cured through medical intervention and support through telemedicine or doctor's visits. We have to all work together as a team, as one family of 130 crore Indians. And I am happy to share with you that the decisive steps taken by Prime Minister Narendra Modi, by Chief Minister Edappadi Palaniswamy, Chief Minister of Tamil Nadu, and his team, by the officers of the government of Tamil Nadu, by the police officials, by the health workers and sanitation workers, our corona warriors, with the effort of all our volunteers, the collective effort of all the people who have worked to fight coronavirus in this country, India will not only win this battle, we will emerge stronger from this battle. We will emerge as a country, as a nation, which is self-reliant, which cares for its people, which builds up cooperative federalism, which works as one family when it comes to facing the challenges before the nation. And I must compliment every Karyakarta of the Bharatiya Janata Party in Tamil Nadu for having shown the resolve, the determination, the commitment to serve the brothers and sisters of Tamil Nadu during this hour of crisis. The Honorable Prime Minister, through the Atmanirbhar Bharat package of 20 lakh crores, has ensured adequate support to the poor, to the middle class, has prepared India to face the challenges of COVID-19, has brought out bold transformative reforms which will give us sustainable development agenda so that in the long run also the country becomes stronger, more powerful, self-reliant and stronger. And as all of you are aware, under Atmanirbhar Bharat package, which included the Pradhan Mantri Garib Kalyan Yojana, which included 5 kgs of rice and wheat and 1 kg of dal to 80 crore people every month, free gas cylinders to 8 crore families for 3 months, 500 rupees to every lady, woman having a Jan Dhan account for 3 months every month, 1,000 rupees per month to the elderly and the Divyang, 50,000 ventilators being procured under PM CARES program so that there's no shortage anywhere in the country. And now under the Garib Kalyan Rozgar Yojana of 50,000 crore rupees, projects being taken up in the next 125 days in 116 districts all over the country, particularly in 6 states where the migrant population is more than 25,000 migrant workers who have gone back to their homes. We will ensure that everybody is taken care of, everybody's basic needs are taken care of through an increased allocation to Manrega. We'll ensure Manrega works go on in every district of Tamil Nadu also and across the country so that all our people who want to work are provided enough opportunity. The next 5 years, ladies and gentlemen, are years where we will work towards progressing the Indian economy, make it a $5 trillion economy, fulfill the aspirations of 135 crore Indians, encourage entrepreneurship and our businesses to grow, make quality products in India so that our people are dependent on foreign goods for basic necessities, become the global factory for the world, become a part of global supply chains, create new and new work and job opportunities for our young boys and girls, and ensure a better future for every citizen of this country. As Prime Minister Modi has given us the vision of Sabka Saath, Sabka Vikas, and Sabka Vishwas. Together we shall grow. Together we shall prosper. Together we shall build a strong and inclusive India. In fact, today the whole world recognizes India as a nation which has successfully fought the pandemic of COVID. The World Health Organization also has appreciated the good work that has been done in India in our fight against COVID. And most recently, we have been elected overwhelming majority by the global community as a member of the UN Security Council for the year 2021-22. In fact, we got 184 votes out of the 192 valid votes that were passed. 184 out of 192, and we in politics know how difficult it is to get such a large number of voters. And these are voters from all the countries of the world. But the world has stood solidly behind Prime Minister Narendra Modi and his vision for India, and recognized the strength of 130 crore Indians to elect us to the UN Security Council. In fact, if you see the last 1 year of the Modi government in its second term, where you helped us get an even larger majority than the first term, it has been a period where we have resolved long pending issues and created a path for long-term sustainable growth for the country. After all, abrogation of Article 370 and 35A and integrating Kashmir with the rest of India was something which you and I all dreamt of. We all worked for it. Many of you went to Lal Chowk in Kashmir to unfurl the tricolor, our national flag, with Dr. Murli Manohar Joshi. Many of you were a part of various agitations for integration of Kashmir with India. Prime Minister Narendra Modi and Home Minister Shri Amit Shah ji actually made that happen. Finally, India is one country, one nation with one constitution. And the dream of our founder, Dr. Shyama Prasad Mukherjee, has been fulfilled under the strong leadership of Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi. The Citizenship Amendment Act has fulfilled the aspiration of crores of our brothers and sisters, Indians, who are in a minority in our neighboring countries of Pakistan, Bangladesh, and Afghanistan, who share a common land border with India. All these minorities in these three countries which follow one religion, and a minority will obviously be those who don't follow the major religion, the religion of the majority of these countries. These minorities were being persecuted. They were being attacked. They were being converted forcefully. The stories coming out of Pakistan particularly are horrendous. What was being done to the Hindus, to the Sikhs, to the Jains, to the Buddhists, to the Christians, to the Parsis. They were being persecuted in these countries. Many of them lost their life. Many of them lost their family members. But through these adverse circumstances, many were able to come to India to seek asylum in India. But the laws of the land did not give them citizenship or a right to the benefits of being an Indian citizen. It was a humanitarian issue. It was an issue that affected crores of our brothers and sisters who were forced to live a life in India without knowing with so much uncertainty whether they will ever get Indian citizenship, whether the country will accept them as an equal citizen. The Citizenship Amendment Act brought a new life, a new hope for these refugees. The dreams of these crores of deprived and victimized people have now come true, to live a life as an equal Indian citizen with you and me. In fact, Mahatma Gandhi had also said, and I quote, "The Hindus and Sikhs of Pakistan who do not wish to live there can come to India. It is the duty of the government of India to ensure a normal life for them." And Prime Minister Modi, Home Minister Amit Shah ji, and our senior leaders have given them that life of dignity as an equal citizen of India. This truly is a tribute to the constitution makers of India, a tribute to Baba Sahib Ambedkar, who had visualized that citizenship will be an evolving matter. The parliament should have the supreme right to make citizenship laws. And based on the circumstances and the need of the hour, to amend the citizenship laws so that people who deserve Indian citizenship are not deprived of the same. By the Triple Talaq law, which was also passed in the last 1 year, we have ensured justice to our sisters, our Muslim sisters. We have safeguarded their rights to ensure a life of dignity for them, even in the event of their marital discord or divorce. In fact, the first decision taken by the new cabinet, which was held within 24 hours of the swearing-in ceremony, was a pension of 3,000 rupees per month after the age of 60 for the poor, for the farmers, for the unorganized labor. Similarly, we have seen a massive reduction in taxes to make India a favorable investment destination. We've seen the merger of non-profitable banks so that they can serve the people of India better. We have seen the highest ever foreign direct investment come to India in the last 6 years. We have taken the strong and decisive decision not to participate in RCEP, the Regional Comprehensive Economic Partnership, which included many ASEAN countries, Japan, Korea, and China. In November, on November 4th, 2019, Prime Minister Modi was bold to say this RCEP agreement is not fulfilling the aspirations of the people of India. It is not fulfilling the guiding principles on which India had continued the negotiations with other countries, and India walked out of RCEP and decided not to join this partnership. Today, the decision of Prime Minister Modi stands vindicated. The world recognizes that Prime Minister Modi took the right decision to protect our small industry, our MSMEs, our cottage industry, our farmers, our milk producers, our labor, who would otherwise have faced significant problems in trying to fight the onslaught of cheap imports coming in through this partnership, through this free trade agreement. The son of Tamil Nadu, the noble son of Tamil Nadu, Bharat Ratna, Dr. Abdul Kalam ji, former president, had raised one question, and today I raise it before you, and I quote, "Do we not realize that self-respect comes with self-reliance. Self-respect comes with self-reliance. And that is the story of Atmanirbhar Bharat. Atmanirbhar Bharat does not close the borders of India. It is not that we will not engage with the other parts of the world. Atmanirbhar Bharat is about being self-sufficient. Atmanirbhar Bharat is about being a strong nation. Atmanirbhar Bharat is about using the resources of India to serve the people of India. There may be a product which is not manufactured in India. We'll get technology from other parts of the world. We can make it in India. There may be some product where the raw material is not available in India. We can get it from other countries. Nobody is stopping that. But where we can be self-reliant, where we have resources in the country, where we have technology in the country, where we have skilled manpower, where we have capacity to make good quality products, should not the country manufacture for its own needs? Should we not be self-reliant so that if any country does not give us any product, like we saw in COVID, nobody was willing to sell PPEs, nobody was willing to give us testing kits. Everybody was saving their personal protective equipment for their own use. The people of India stood up to the challenge and we made sure that we become self-reliant in testing kits, PPEs. Can we not take this to other products? And I think no better place than Tamil Nadu to lead the Atmanirbhar Bharat program. The rich heritage, the rich culture of Tamil Nadu, the indomitable spirit of the people of Tamil Nadu will lead the way to Atmanirbhar Bharat. Whether it is computer software or hardware, whether it is electronics, whether it is biotechnology, tourism, automobiles, floriculture, food processing, and I can keep naming so many industries. Tamil Nadu and the people of Tamil Nadu have shown their capabilities in higher education, in skilling, in quality infrastructure, in serving the farmers, in creating work opportunities and job opportunities, ensuring 24 hours power, ensuring water goes to every village, every home. And now we have taken up a 3,50,000 crore project under Jal Jeevan Mission so that every home will get power through a tap. हर नल, हर घर पे पानी नलके से आएगा, टैप से आएगा. Fisheries, Tamil Nadu has huge potential in fisheries. Leather products, agricultural products, spices, yarn, textiles, jewelry. I can keep naming so many things that Tamil Nadu can be a world leader in. And that is what we are seeing in Tamil Nadu. That is what we are committed to doing in Tamil Nadu. We have created a new department for fisheries for the welfare of 1.5 crore fishermen by providing 9,000 crore for infrastructure of fishing harbors, cold chain, markets and all of that. 11,000 crores for activities in marine, inland and aquaculture. This 20,000 crore Pradhan Mantri Matsya Sampada Yojana will transform the fisheries sector and Tamil Nadu will be a big beneficiary of that. The Blue Revolution will transform the lives of the people of Tamil Nadu. Of course, the new Ministry of Water is working with the government of Tamil Nadu to tackle the water shortage in the coastal areas. And I'm happy to see that the state government is also committed to work with the center so that in the next few years, we can make sure that water shortage is a thing of the past. And just like we resolved the problem of electricity, and the whole nation today has surplus electricity, 24 hours you get electricity. Water also will be available in the tap in every home so that nobody ever has to suffer for want of water. Through the interlinking of rivers, we hope to take more water for the farmers of Tamil Nadu also. And I'm sure that just like the center and states are working for the welfare of every citizen, with the support of the government of Tamil Nadu and the hard work of millions of Karyakartas of Tamil Nadu, the lakhs and lakhs of BJP Karyakartas of Tamil Nadu, we will see good times for the people of Tamil Nadu in the days and years to come. Even in the fields under me, whether it is Startup India, whether it is promoting internal trade, retail trade, whether it is promoting e-commerce, whether it is promoting industry, industrial development, whether it is promoting exports from India or improving the services in the railways. We have been all focused for a better future for the people of Tamil Nadu. And I'm confident that going forward, Tamil Nadu will prosper even faster, even better, so that every child in Tamil Nadu will look forward to a more prosperous future. We'll have a better future. And you and I will all relentlessly, day and night, so that the dreams of our forefathers are fulfilled. The Bharatiya Janata Party and every Karyakarta of the BJP is blessed to have a leadership which is committed to the welfare of the people of India. And you and I will serve as the instruments of change. You and I will work together to bring about a better future for the children of this country. You and I will work together so that no person in this country remains poor. You and I will work together to ensure that the income of farmers is doubled. You and I will work together to make sure that every family has his own home, a home with electricity, water, toilet, internet, a good road up to the house, good school, good college, good hospital near the home. We will take quality infrastructure to the villages. We'll provide a better quality of life to our village people so that they don't have to migrate to the cities, so that they get work opportunity in their hometown, in their home villages. Let us all resolve that we will work together with Prime Minister Modi to make India self-sufficient, self-reliant, strong and confident, and Atmanirbhar Bharat that the world will look up to as a source of strength, as a source of development. In conclusion, I would like to quote our beloved former Prime Minister, our leader of the Bharatiya Janata Party, Bharat Ratna Atal Bihari Vajpayee, who had said, "Let us resolve to come together, to work hard together, to realize the dreams of our country. Our aim may be as high as the endless sky, but we should have a resolve in our minds to walk ahead hand in hand, for victory will be ours. Thank you very much, brothers and sisters of Tamil Nadu. Nandri. Namaskar.
மரியாதைக்குரிய மத்திய அமைச்சர் திரு பியூஷ் கோயல்ஜி அவங்க தமிழ்நாட்டினுடைய பெரியவர்கள் திருவள்ளுவர், சுந்தர், அப்பர், முருகக் கடவுள் அவர்களை நினைவு கூர்ந்து நம்மளுடைய ராமநாதபுரம் மாவட்டம் அவில்தார் பழனி அவர்களையும் நினைவு கூர்ந்தார். அவருடைய களத்திலே இன்னுயிரை ஈத்ததை நினைவு கூர்ந்தார். அதே போல ஃபீட் த நீடின் கீழ் நாம் என்ன மாதிரி பணிகளை செய்தோம் என்பதை குறிப்பிட்டு, கடந்த 5 ஆண்டுகளில் மத்திய அரசாங்கம் 11 கோடி டாய்லெட் கட்டப்பட்டதையும், இலவச கேஸ் கொடுக்கப்பட்டதையும், 38 கோடி பேருக்கு பேங்க் லோன் கொடுக்கப்பட்டதையும் நினைவு கூர்ந்தார்கள். அதே போல உலக அளவில் கோவிட்டால் பாதிக்கப்பட்ட கம்பேரிசன் நம்மகிட்ட கொடுத்துருந்தாங்க. உலக அளவில் கம்பேர் பண்ணும்போது 3% டெத்து தான் ஆயிருக்கு. அதே மாதிரி 55% ரெக்கவரி நடந்திருக்கு. உலக அளவில் பாதிக்கப்பட்டவங்களில் 5% தான் இந்தியாவில் பாதிக்கப்பட்டிருக்காங்க. அதே மாதிரி நம்ம அதுக்கு முன்னாடி பிபி கிட், வெண்டிலேட்டர்ஸ், N95 மாஸ்க் இதை பற்றி எல்லாமே நமக்கு எடுத்து சொல்லியிருந்தாங்க. அதே மாதிரி சுயசார்பு பாரத்தில் தமிழ்நாடு தான் ரொம்ப சிறப்பாக இருக்கணும், தமிழகத்தில் எல்லா இன்ஃப்ராஸ்ட்ரக்சரும் இருக்குது, தமிழ்நாட்டு இளைஞர்கள் துணிவானவர்கள், அங்கே இருக்கிற அனைத்து மக்கள் இந்த சுயசார்பு பாரத்தை பயன்படுத்திக்கணும், அனைத்திற்கும் வேலை வாய்ப்பு உருவாக்கணும் அப்படின்றத சொல்லியிருந்தாங்க. அதே மாதிரி தமிழ்நாட்டில் அதிகமாக கோஸ்டல் ஏரியாவில் நம்மளுடைய ஃபிஷர்மேன் மீனவர்களுடைய நலனுக்காக தனி அமைச்சகம் ஏற்படுத்தினதையும், மீனவர்களுக்காக 20,000 கோடி ரூபாய் நம்மளுடைய மத்திய அரசாங்கம் ஒதுக்குனதையும் நமக்கு இங்கே எடுத்துரைத்தாங்க. அதே மாதிரி அப்துல் கலாம் ஐயா அவர்களுடைய வழிகாட்டுதலில் செல்ஃப் ரெஸ்பெக்ட் செல்ஃப் ரிலையண்ட் பாரதம் உருவானதை பற்றி நம்மளுடைய தமிழகத்தை சார்ந்த அப்துல் கலாம்ஜி அவங்கள பற்றியும் நமக்கு எடுத்துரைத்தாங்க. அதே மாதிரி பல்வேறு விஷயங்கள்லையும் எலக்ட்ரானிக், ஆட்டோமொபைல் இண்டஸ்ட்ரீஸ், கம்ப்யூட்டர் இண்டஸ்ட்ரி, இதில் ஏற்கனவே தமிழ்நாடு தான் லீடில் இருக்குது. ஸோ தமிழ்நாடு மக்கள் உலகளவில் தமிழ்நாடை எடுத்துகிட்டு போகிறதுக்கான சாத்தியக்கூறுகள் இருக்கின்றது நம்மளுடைய மத்திய அமைச்சர் நம்ம இடத்துல எடுத்து சொன்னாங்க. ஸோ நம்மளுடைய இந்த அருமையான நிகழ்ச்சியில் நம்மளுடன் பங்கு பெற்ற நமக்கு பல்வேறு கருத்துக்களையும் எடுத்து கூறிய மத்திய அமைச்சர் மரியாதைக்குரிய பியூஷ் கோயல்ஜி அவர்களுக்கும், இந்த நிகழ்ச்சியில் கோஆர்டினேட் செய்த நம்மளுடைய தேசிய செயலாளர் சத்யா அவர்களுக்கும், மரியாதைக்குரிய சத்யா அவர்களுக்கும், இந்த நிகழ்ச்சியில் பங்கு பெற்ற நம்மளுடைய மூத்த தலைவர்கள் திரு பொன் ராதாகிருஷ்ணன்ஜி, திரு ஹெச் ராஜா அண்ணன், திரு PR, திரு இல கணேசன்ஜி ஆகிய உங்கள் அனைவருக்கும் மற்றும் பாரதிய ஜனதா கட்சியினுடைய அனைத்து நிர்வாகிகளுக்கும், அனைத்து தொண்டர்களுக்கும், அனைத்து சகோதர சகோதரிகளுக்கும் நன்றி கலந்த வணக்கத்தை தெரிவித்துக் கொள்கிறேன். நன்றி, வணக்கம்.